Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great start to this week. The market was a little bit disappointing for me today. I was expecting a lot more than what it gave. Was really excited. This is the first week this month that I've been 100%. Um, I don't think. I didn't really know how sick I was. Just glad that I was able to do what I needed to do finally to get better. But was really excited about this week starting and looking for some big momentum and a big push out of the gate, but just wasn't to be today. So, before we look at the trades I took today, I really want to share this with you because I get messages every day from both ends of the spectrum. I get messages from traders who say, Ed, I did what you said. I took my P&L off. I don't look at it. I don't have any daily goals. I put the time in, but I'm just not getting there. I'm just not getting there. And then I get messages the same day from people that say, man, this is working out great. I'm doing everything. And, I'm getting there. I see the progress. But not all the time are you going to be able to see the progress. You have, number one, you have to accept where you are. Okay, you have to accept your reality, where you're starting from. Then you have to commit to however amount of time it's going to take for you to get to the end. Some people it takes 10 times longer than others. We're all different. We all react to things differently. We all take things in differently. So we can't trust the process. Learning is a process. Learning how to trade is a process. And you can't rush it. There's no shortcut to trading success. There's no shortcut. You may get there quick by following somebody, but you won't stay there. You may end up going deeper than, digging a hole deeper than the one you were in to start with. But, you've got to put everything in order to get everything out. So everything really depends on you. It's really going to depend on how much you're able to put in and how much you really trust the process. Because you got to keep going. You can't quit. You just got to keep driving on. And, this makes me think about the message I shared this weekend about building the foundation. What we try to do here at Average Joe Trading is build your foundation. And, we were talking about buildings. The taller you build a building, the deeper you have to dig that foundation. Because the more in the wind it's going to be, the more in the elements it's going to be. So you're going to have to dig deep. So the higher you want to go in this, the deeper you're going to have to dig your foundation. And you don't always see that foundation. Really, you don't see it. Once the building is built, you never see that foundation. And nobody really knows what it took, what the process was to build that foundation. And it takes time. And when you buy a new house and within 5 years, the wall starts cracking and everything, you look outside, if it's a brick house, you start seeing a corner start to separate the bricks. It's because whoever built your house rushed the foundation. They didn't follow the process. They tried to rush it. It never works out. Eventually, it's going to crack. You're going to find cracks. On a weak foundation, those weaknesses will, show itself. So, you have to stick with it. Sometimes it doesn't even look like you're moving. You may look at a building, and this is this is something that, I didn't realize. I was watching the house get built behind me, because when I moved here, it was just woods. So behind me, they were building this house. And it looked like it took months for them to start building the house after they did the foundation. But what it was, every time they came back and checked it, the foundation wasn't set. They had to come back, fix it, start again. Come back, fix it, start again. And that's what we have to do here. The education process is proven. Now, you don't hear a lot of other people talk about it because this isn't what you want to buy. It doesn't excite you. It doesn't make money flow from your wallet and buy this class or that class. So nobody's going to, tell you it's hard. It's going to take time. But don't you think if it was easy as everybody says it is, that everybody would be doing it? Nobody would be going to work right now. I mean, it's just one of those things that we got to stick it out. And we're not the first one. I'm not the first one that's been through this. I'm not the first one that's ever had to go through what I went through. Here's the before picture you see here. I had 2 cheap laptops. Both of these laptops were less than $300. I got these 2 monitors from the state surplus store for $25. Both of them for $25. Okay, and I had to every day. I had to take this stuff down and put it back when I got ready to study at night, because that was our dining table. And my wife wasn't gonna go for that. And it started. I trusted the process. I believed in it. And, this is where I am today. This desk, I can roll this around anywhere. I can roll it out on the deck. When the weather's nice, I can roll it to the front of the house and look out the front window. I can roll it back to any room in the house, wherever I want to go. But, all of this didn't happen overnight. This is a culmination of, 2.5 years of hard work and dedication to the process. But what the process does, I can't remember who I heard. It might have been E.T. He said the process purifies you, because what it does is it brings all of your imperfections to the surface. As you go through the process, you're going to have failures. Things aren't going to work out. But we don't accept failure. We never accept failure as the final result. So as these things come out, we're developing into the person we need to be a successful trader. So we may have bad days. We may have a bad month. We may have a bad quarter. But everything that we're going through is purifying us. It's taking all of the bad out, and we're replacing it with the good and everything that we need to get to that next level. And that's why I think it's the best thing for us to be learning in this bad market. This is the best time to learn. Because if you learn and you establish your foundation now, there's not much deeper you can dig. Okay, I don't think you can dig much deeper than dealing with this bad market right now. So you establish yourself, you build your foundation, it's on solid rock. It's not going to go anywhere. And that, and that's why I tell people this is the best time. Don't get frustrated. Don't worry about trying to make money. The end result is to make money, but you have to learn first. You have to get to that point first. And the bad thing about it, in this industry, just imagine if you're playing basketball. You're a basketball player. You say, hey, I want to go play basketball. And you sign up. And the first game, you go right out there without any practice. And you're right there on the NBA floor playing with Kobe. Kobe's retired now. Playing with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and all of them. You're playing these guys. And you might have never played a game of basketball in your life. When you get into trading, that's just what you're doing. You going out, you're getting all you got to do is put money in a brokerage account and you can start trading. And you're trading in the same market that these professionals that get paid millions of dollars to trade. This is what you're doing. You're putting yourself in that situation. So there's no way in the world you're going to be able to play with these guys that have been playing basketball all their lives in the NBA, just coming off the street. So what makes you think you can come in and trade and make money off these guys that have paid millions of dollars practically to take our money? You have to get yourself together. It's going to take time. You got to trust the process. That's what it's all about. All right, so let's get into my trade. The first trade I took was HAS. This was on my watch list. And I was looking to take this 5-minute opening range breakdown. So here's a 5-minute opening range low right here. And I got in right at that low. Now, some days you can wait for the stock to close, or you can take it as it's breaking it. So I took it, as it was breaking it. It opened here. We started selling off, and I felt good about it. So I got in. It went down a little bit, came back, retouched VWAP, and then we started selling off. And this was, a typical opening range breakdown. Well, my first target on this was 89.50. Now, I'm not in big size, so I have to kind of hold out for these longer these longer moves. I kind of have to do this. So I got in, let's see, at 91.09. We did get a move down, but it didn't stick. And we started to come down again, but then it looked like we were starting to reverse. It looks like, it just felt like we weren't going anywhere. So I went ahead and took half off here at 90.46. And, I couldn't take any more here. I was going to wait until 89.25 and take some more off. But we started to bounce here. We came back, and I had to stop out, here on my profit target. I probably should have left it on at break even at that point. But in my mind, I was needing to lock in profit. That was the number one priority here. And so I waited on this stock. Eventually, I did trade it again. It looked like we were rejecting this level here, the 20 and the 9. It looked like we were coming down just after lunch. I waited all through lunch and, got in and then just turned around. No follow through on this and stopped me out. But could have easily made more money on this. But I made the decision based on the price action. I made a decision based on how the stock was trading at that time. And, I might have been a little bit antsy and wanting to get out of the trade. But, I didn't just make a decision based on watching the P&L. I made it based on watching the price action. And I guess tomorrow, if I was in the same situation tomorrow, I'll probably do the same thing again. Because you don't like to see this when you're in a trade. So that was HAS. I took 2 trades on it. Then AIMT was the next one I took. And this one was going to be a continuation trade. So, we were coming down and we rejected, we ran up here, we rejected VWAP, we got under the 9 here. So I was trying to kind of wait for another bounce and another retest of the 9. And when I saw this candle do this, I was like, okay, that's it. I can take it now. And I got in, was patient as possible, but this thing just traded extremely crazy. You can see these candles here, these long wicks. You can tell how big this stock was making swings. But I really thought we were settling down here. But again, it didn't settle down. Didn't stop me out here or here because it hadn't hit my max loss, and we never closed above the 9 here. So as long as we were in play, I was going to keep the trade on. But even though I really didn't like this, the way this was doing, but we were making lower lows, lower highs. So I was pretty happy with that. And then we got this candle to close above VWAP. Above the 9 here. And so when this candle opened and showed, good strength, I went ahead and got out. And I waited for it, rejected here. And, once it got under these moving averages again, I got back in. Now, I was asked a question earlier, why didn't I get in on this rejection of VWAP? I'm a relatively conservative trader. I'm not overly conservative, because if I was, I wouldn't take any trades at all. But I am conservative, and I do have a rule about shorting into support. The 20 and the 9 sitting right here with each other is solid support. Now, yeah, we broke through this with, a small degree of difficulty. But if I shorted here, I'd have been shorting on support. And, that's a no-no for me. I don't do that. So I waited, got in here under the 9, was using this as my stop. Went ahead and took some profit early this time because, I took profit early this time because of how this was trading. I was like, well, this is a solid area here to take profit, so I'm going to go ahead and take some. And my goal was to scale out 3 times, and this was my target, 31. And I was going to scale out on holding $half marks. But it just didn't. We kind of caught here, and it started hanging, and we just started inching up. Got stopped out at break even here. So just did not get the moves. There wasn't any real solid opening range trades that just made a big move. All of them kind of fizzled out of the gate. And, I tried to force it. I tried to get in and really, make it happen. But I messed around and accidentally stopped out too late. Okay, this was too big of a loss for me. And had I not taken this big loss, had I stopped out where my max loss should have been, I would have been fine. Today I wouldn't have been as read, so to speak. But this was a kind of an error in judgment. But I stand by it. I mean, I was in the market, and we were, I was trying to follow the trend. I did stick to the technicals. I just let my risk go a little bit further. Now, the risk reward on this trade was excellent. I just didn't manage the risk like according to plan. So I broke my plan on that trade. All right, so this is kind of where I ended up today. 137.92. Now, everybody wants to, a lot of people ask me why, at the end of the day when you do your videos, why don't you just share your P&L? And, so I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to do it now because I'm not going to download anything to Profitly. I'm not letting anything access my accounts ever again. It's not going to happen anymore. So guys that are in chat, they get to see these trades live. So there's no question about whether I actually took them or not. They see them live. If you're not in chat, and yeah, you have to guess. But I'm not, but if I do put a trade in here that I don't actually take in chat, obviously I'm going to get called out on it here on YouTube. So I'm not going to do that. So I will, going forward, I will share this. This is not the way I wanted to start the week out, but it is what it is. We had a bad day. I was holding for bigger moves. I was expecting a more volatile market. The same way I'm down $137, I could have easily been up had I taken, profit at earlier strategic points and not really holding out for the bigger moves that I thought the market would have. And you can see I was looking at the SPY today, and we opened gapped up. And that was another reason why I was excited about, number one, my swing trades. I jumped on 2 swing trades because we made new highs today. I was letting the day trades run a little bit, but the market just sold off from the open. It went up a little bit and it just sold off, and kind of took a lot of the volatility with it. You see, Friday was a good day. We had some good volume relative to the previous days. Then today, just a little bit light. But, we have to take what the market gives us. If the market's slow tomorrow, I'm just going to take profit. I'm going to take the profit it gives me. Because our number one priority is to grow our account. And we know we get the right entry on the setup. We need to have a viable trade plan that's going to allow us to lock in profit. If the market doesn't go where we want it to go, we take profit. So I'm going to have to tighten up my profit targets and not look for so much reward, versus risk. 2-to-1 is going to have to be, I'm going to have to be happy with 2-to-1 versus 3 or 4-to-1 on my first cover. So I just have to make those adjustments. All right, so that's going to do it for me today. Looking to have some better trades tomorrow. I'm going to manage it a little differently. I'm not going to be as aggressive and hold out. So as always, if you have any questions, this is my social media. You can follow me. I'll post stuff from time to time. I don't do a whole lot of posting during the trading day. But in the evenings, on the weekends, I may post some stuff. I may put some stuff out there that I'm thinking about. All right, so you guys have a great evening, a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.